Decided today was a good day to declutter my kitchen. It's cold and rainy. It's the day before winter starts, so it's the 1st of June tomorrow, and I'm home all day. So I thought today would be a perfect day to declutter my kitchen. Josh and I moved in together into my house that someone else had been living in about 6 months ago, and we had combined things, and we did do a bit of a declutter when we first moved in, but I feel like some things have started to creep in, so maybe it's time to go through, because a few times when I've done the dishes and been putting stuff away, it's kind of bothered me a bit how crazy cluttered everything is. Some things I don't know if I'll be able to fix. I think I will need some storage options. I'll need to go shopping and work out how to make them fit better. But today I just want to cull some things out and tidy up a bit. So we'll go with that. My kitchen, I wouldn't say it's a mess. The dishes need doing and it's not perfect. It's real. It's what my kitchen looks like after a couple of days of work and a day off and us cooking and eating meals. So it is what it is. I didn't tidy up first. This is what it looks like. So hopefully you will get some inspiration to get rid of some stuff after watching this video. So this is our kitchen. As you can see, it is kind of small, but it does have a lot of cupboard and drawer space. I helped design this kitchen when I got it renovated, and I reckon it's enough. Some people say it's way too small, but I like it. There's no actual pantry per se, which drives a lot of people mad. I also didn't put a dishwasher in it because I'm a weird person, and I like doing the dishes by hand. Also, it was just going to take up that bit more space than what I had. There didn't used to be a door here, and I really wanted a door off the kitchen because this is through to our laundry, which then goes through to our toilet, which then goes through to our back door, which was a bit of a nightmare if you were having a barbecue outside to have to go through 3 doors. So this one goes directly onto our veranda, which I love. Josh got this from a friend for doing a job, and I love it. It's so cute. It does darken up the kitchen a little bit, and even though the timber is beautiful, we do think we're going to paint it the off-white, which is the same as the kitchen. We just think it'll brighten it up. This house is not always the lightest house. Like, this is all the light we get into the kitchen from this window. The lounge room does have a big window, but the sun doesn't directly come in here. So anything to lighten up the space, I think, is really helpful. All right, let's get into it. Over this side, we have our fridge. We have 2 cupboards up the top. I can sort of reach them, but mostly they're Josh get, or Laura needs to get a chair to get up there. Spice rack, we have our oven, stove, sink, cupboards under the sink. This is actually a drawer that has rubbish and recycled. Goodness, looks like we've eaten a heap of chocolate. We keep getting boxes of favorites as presents, and we don't eat chocolate a lot, and a whole drawer in our fridge was full of it, so we've been trying to eat through a bit of it. Utensil drawers. These are, plates, cups, blurry. Cookware. Also part of this is a pantry. And then I have this little open pantry, which I love because it helps you see what you need and what you're missing, what's running low. And then these top cupboards, again, are quite high, but they're good for those things that you don't use very often. I can sort of reach the bottom shelves, otherwise I need a chair, or I need a Josh because he's 6'4" and he can reach anything. All right, we'll start with cutlery. This is pretty standard. I always have way more teaspoons than I need because I feel like I make more cups of coffee than meals that I eat. This is leftover. It's really hard because they come when you order food and you always end up with too many. But I don't like just throwing them away, so occasionally I will use them for something. Sometimes the timber spoons and stuff I use to mix my hair dye with, so it's handy to keep, but I don't think I want to keep it in here. Obviously, some stuff is drying in the dish rack, so there's spoons, forks, knives. We have 4 of each. We really have tried to keep it as minimal as possible, though I reckon one of these has somehow crept in from my work or something like that. I've accidentally taken one home because that does not match. But we try to keep it pretty minimal because it encourages us to do the dishes. If you have too many sets of cutlery, then you just keep putting them in the sink and then you've got 20 sets of cutlery to wash. Scissors, I actually don't like them in there. They kind of don't fit properly. So we have like steak knives, like, if you're eating something a bit harder. I think we have 4 of those. Sorry, noisy. And then reusable straws, which we don't use a lot. I got this one for bubble tea. It's massive. I don't really buy bubble tea. I used to buy the kits, and they are lots of fun, but they're more fun in summer, and it's colder weather now, so I haven't bought any in a while, but big one for that. Smoothie sort of width, and then 2 normal ones, and then the straw cleaner. So I'll leave them in there. We do use them. And 4 is probably okay. 4 steak knives. All the multiple teaspoons. I think I'm going to put these somewhere else. I have a bit of an idea for some disposable stuff, which we generally try not to keep much of, but we do have some left over from a party and from camping, I think. So that's pretty minimal. I kind of have already done that one. Oh, now this straw. I don't know. These are really hard. Utensil drawers are really hard to organize, I think, because sometimes the dividers fit some things and not others, which is really frustrating. So I have left everything free range in here, but it just ends up like this, like a mess, which drives me mad. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that today. But so what we're going to do is we'll empty everything out. Goodness, noisy and lots of things. All right, well, I think I might give that one a clean out first, and then we might work out what goes back in it. A nice clean drawer. And the mess that needs to go back in it. This is a knife sharpener. I never use it. I feel like I would just cut myself if I tried to use this. But Josh uses it, so it can sit in the back. So this is the grater that we have. It's a pretty much everyday use. We make a lot of mini pizza, so, oh, gross. I apparently am not a good dishwasher. We might watch that again. All right, scissors, tongs. Now, that is something that I bought. I went to, I think I got these from Kohl's, actually. Yeah, Kohl's. And bought another pair of tongs because we only have that pair, this pair, and a tiny little pair, which I think might be on the throw-out pile. I'm not quite sure how I end up with a tiny little pair, but I did. So I'll cut the tag off this, and this one can go in here. So 2 sets of tongs. Is it enough? I don't know. My mum, I reckon, has like 10 sets of tongs. But I don't know that I need that many. This is one of those things that opens jars. I also have another thing that opens jars. It's called a Josh. He's really handy. Measuring cups. Measuring spoons. Masher. You know, all the standard stuff. Peeler. So right now I'm just doing the definite everyday keeps things. We have 2 lighters. We use them to light the candles or the fire out the back. We probably don't need both. Maybe we'll just keep the good one. Josh likes to make sausage rolls, so we use that. Can opener. That's a pretty everyday essential. Egg flip. Now, Josh bought these in a pack, these wooden spoons, and I reckon that's a lot. It encourages me to sort of not wash one because I've got others. This one I made something with berries. I can't remember, which is why it is purple with blackberries. So I reckon, like, wooden implements are a bit hard because, you know, people say they, you know, have bacteria growth, they're difficult to clean, they're porous. So I reckon because that one's purple, we might give that one the flick. I don't use this one. It's kind of, I reckon that's probably never been used. It's a bit weird with the hole in the middle. I reckon 4 is plenty. I'll double check with Josh, but I think 4 wooden spoons is probably plenty. Let me check. Sorry about my disgusting sink. No, there's nothing. There's none in there. Oh, what there is in here. Ooh. God, Wreck-It Ralph. Is a scooper spoon. That definitely goes in there. Sorry about the glass. So we're going to get rid of these 2. We'll get rid of that one. Now, I got these. They're Tupperware knives. I did used to take them to work to cut like apples and mangoes and things like that. But like, yeah, mangoes I decided are kind of a thing not to take to work. You know, they make such a mess. I'm going to get rid of that pair. So I reckon I might get rid of these ones because we do have over here on this lovely magnet on the wall, which makes it look super classy, probably all the knives we'll ever need. So I don't think these ones I really need. So I think I'm going to put them on the throw out pile. I'm going to put them somewhere else. This we're going to cut the tag off. Now this is a little tea strainer thing for my teapot. And then this is the scoop. Oh, let me put it around the right way. See if we can get it to focus. Oh yeah, so you can do one end for 1 cup and one end for 1 pot. Could I do it with a normal spoon? I probably could, but I like this. It's cute, and it does make it a bit easier. It stops me from making my tea too weak or too strong. So I'm going to keep them. I wonder whether I should actually put them with my teapot. Yeah, look, I think I'm going to because, yeah, that makes more sense. All right, still a mess, but there's less stuff in there. So this is the keep. This is the get rid of. I'm going to move this. I'm going to cut the tag off that and put that in the drawer. And that's second drawer done. Got this one. This is for when you're just doing a single cup of tea, and I use the scoop to fill it up. I think I will put that with the teapot as well. That probably makes sense. It doesn't really need to be in the utensil drawer. I do a pot of tea mostly in the winter, so I can put that. And I think the teapot is up there. So I might put them with the teapot. That makes sense. Right, next drawer, we've got tea towels. And these, I got these from an op shop. They're fabric napkins because I prefer to use them than the disposable ones. But every time you have a party, someone brings napkins, including Josh. I don't know whether I'm fighting a losing battle here because I try to encourage people to use these, but they often gravitate towards the paper ones. Maybe it's too many. Like how many? Let's count them. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, well, an odd number will just not do, will it? So maybe if we keep, like, do I just keep 4? Maybe I'll keep 8. Yeah, let's keep 8. And then I can redecide in the future. I'll just get rid of 1. We'll have an even number. I like using the fabric ones, but everyone else seems to gravitate towards the paper ones. Stubby holders from 21st birthdays, holiday destination, middies because Josh is an electrician. Boots. Oh, this is the one from my high school. This is where I went to high school. My name's on there somewhere. Oh, this is my brother-in-law's art brand, I suppose. He does little cartoons. They're very cool. All right. I would like to put these somewhere else. I don't really use a stubby holder. Josh does. He's not a massive drinker, but he has a can or a beer every now and then, and he likes to use a stubby holder. Where else do you store them? I've seen people put them in pipes on walls and things like that, but that seems a bit excessive for the few that we have. I really probably would like to declutter some. Like, do we need the middies or the Mongo Boots ones? Yeah. I don't feel like we need advertising ones. These are from a place we stayed in Thailand. We loved it. That's my brother-in-law's. That's mine from high school. This is from Josh's cousin's girlfriend's 21st. So maybe we'll just keep those ones. It looks a little bit better. All right, bottom drawer. This drawer, this drawer is so funny because most of the stuff in here never gets used. We have Glad wrap. Generally don't use it. We put things in containers, or I have reusable Ziploc bags. I try as best I can to stay away from single-use stuff. I reckon it has been months since this has been used, but Josh bought it. I think he would use it occasionally. I'd love to just get rid of it, but best not. Baking paper we also don't use. Why there's two is beyond me. This one's still shut. I reckon maybe I'll pass that on to someone else because I will show you later. I have silicone baking mats, which is what we use. We don't use baking paper. So maybe we'll use up this box. I'd love to like use it up and then just not buy it again, and it kind of shows that we don't need it. Tin foil we probably do use sometimes for cooking. So that makes sense. The cling wrap and the baking paper don't really. Freezer bags we don't use. This, I don't really know why this was here, where they came from. Oh, it's hard. You don't want to just chuck them out, but you don't use them, so it will sit in here forever. I think so. There were some things in this house when we moved into it together. Somebody else was living here, so I think there was a few odds and ends, and I reckon both of these were in here when we moved in, and we don't use them. I might see if my mum wants them. She might use them. Garbage bags, small garbage bags for small bins, green waste bins, more small garbage bags. Oh, why so many? Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. I much prefer that drawer like that. It's funny because if we got rid of these, there would be like nothing in here. But I like that. And Josh always says I can always find a way to fill empty space. If there's an empty space, I will fill it with something else. He's probably right. But we'll leave them in there for now. If we use them up and we don't purchase them again, maybe I'll reorganize this drawer and maybe put other things in it. Maybe like reusable shopping bags or something. Yeah, maybe. All right, cool. One more drawer down. I said this drawer is our rubbish and our recycle. I love this. It's so away and easy. Under the sink, I won't say a phobia because that's a bit extreme, but I don't like cupboards under sinks. They gross me out because, like, I know if you maintain them, they're probably fine, but how many of you seen that leak and have mold and stuff? This is all still fairly new, so I'm not too paranoid about this, but I don't like storing things under sinks. It grosses me out a little bit. This is green waste and what we call scrunchy plastic. There was a company that you could recycle plastic that scrunches into a ball. They've actually gone on a bit of a hiatus at the moment. There was a bit of a, I don't know, where they're able to use it or their suppliers that they make products for. So they're on a bit of a hiatus. So we're not doing scrunchy plastic at the moment, which hurts my heart because I've been doing it for about 8 years because it keeps it out of landfill. But the company that I would always drop it off at that had bins at Coles, they're not currently working at the moment. So I have been putting stuff in landfill, which hurts my heart. But yeah, hopefully that will start up again. So normally we would have a bag in here. We put the scrunchy plastic in here. This is some that's probably left over when we stopped doing it. And then I would take it to the supermarket when I do my groceries. So green waste, that goes in the green waste bin. That's pretty self-explanatory. This is the old ice maker out of our fridge because it malfunctioned and you could buy this whole piece for fairly cheap to replace it. So we replaced it, but Josh wanted to keep the old one because only one part of it stopped working, but you kind of had to buy it as a whole piece. And he knows more about that than me, but he said we should keep this in case something else went wrong and we could maybe use a part off this. I don't think it needs to be in here. It's really bulky and it takes up a giant space. I do have a box in the shed of some spare, like, the old legs that came off the stove and a spare pair of legs that came for the stove, and a few other bits and pieces that we may or may not need. I think I'm going to put that with that. I don't think it really needs to be in the kitchen, easily accessible. If something happens with the ice maker and he wants to get parts off it, we can go to the shed for that. That's fine, because that's where the tools will be. Oh, reusable shopping bags. I try really hard to use the, you know, like washable ones and not have these, but you do sometimes forget and you end up as a bit of a stock of these. But oh, apparently I use that for something else. Does that end? Oh, Coles bags. There you go. Relabeled. Must have pulled it out at some point. So yeah, I think if I was able to get rid of the glitter wrap and stuff, I would do something different with them and put them in there. Maybe I still can. All right, let's ponder that one. Cleaning products. There's probably more stuff in here that I need. Oh, like a spray wipe. Glass and window wipes. I regret buying these. I wish I'd just bought Windex, but I didn't. I thought these would be convenient, but I don't think they're much better. But we'll use them up. Shower cleaner. I hate this. I reckon was here as well when we moved in. Shower cleaners make me sneeze. They make my eyes hurt. So I mostly use bicarb or dishwashing liquid, sometimes some lemon juice, sometimes some vinegar. So, but I might try and use this up and put up with the smell. And like, even if I open the windows and put the exhaust fan on, after I've sprayed it, if I go back in to clean, I almost instantly start sneezing. I don't know what it is. It's all bathroom cleaners. So I might try. Now, it might seem strange that this isn't in the bathroom, but I like having all my cleaning products mostly in the same spot. So carpet cleaner, that came, and odor stuff. That came with the carpet cleaner we hired from Bunnings from Bunnings? I think it was from Bunnings. When we moved into the house, we cleaned the carpets before we put the furniture in. Ugh, we might borrow it again. It kind of annoys me because we didn't use all of it and there seems like a lot of it left. This is what I mop the floor with. Though often I will just use dishwashing liquid and a bit of eucalyptus oil, and I think that works just as well. I think this might have already been here too, so that's what I've been using up, and you use such a tiny amount, it'll probably take forever to get rid of it. Really, if it was me, I'd probably just have this, which means I wouldn't need this box. It's so hard. People do things really differently. All right, let's leave them in there because this will be a finish up and possibly not repurchase, and then I can sort stuff out later. Dishwashing liquid, it goes up the top. We've got a cold stuff reusable shopping bag, which we don't use very often because if I go to the supermarket, I normally just come straight home, so I don't always worry about that type of insulated bag, but there is one there just in case. More fridge parts. So if you don't have the ice maker in, you can have an extra shelf in the freezer. I reckon they can go in the shed too. I don't think they need to be easily accessible. If we ever decided to get rid of the ice maker, which I don't think we would, we could go to the shed and get them. I think I would much rather the free space in here. Awesome. Set of gloves in case I'm touching anything that's gross. When I'm dyeing my hair or, you know, using cleaning products I don't want to touch. This is dishcloths and scrubbers and things. There's nothing really super exciting in there. They're all things that we keep. Yeah. All right, so that's a bit less cluttered. I would love, like, this would be me. Done. But, oh, probably some Windex, because I would use Windex. So, but we'll use up all this stuff and I can do another declutter. Oh, that was good one-handed. And sort it out a bit more in the future. But I think I'm going to put these somewhere else. The fridge parts can go in the shed. Voila, done. This drawer holds all of our coffee cups, glasses, cups, bowls, and plates, which blows people's minds sometimes that this is all we have and that we cram it all in together, but it works for us. So Josh likes the big coffee cups. I like the little ones. So these are our everyday use ones. We have a couple of spares just in case we have more people over, because sometimes there is more than 4 people. This one is my stepdaughter's. She got it for Easter. She likes to have a cup of tea, so that one's hers. These ones are nice, sturdy ones. Josh and I like to have an alcoholic drink in these. They're kind of the perfect size for making a mixed drink. And they make us feel a little bit classy on date night. So those. My stepdaughter picked these. I hate these. These tend to rust the tops. And I reckon I've seen mold and stuff in some of the seals before. Not in these ones. These ones are fairly new. But she picked them, she likes them, and she's only here on weekends, so I like her to be able to have things that she feels that she's picked, you know, that are in our house. So they were her choice. They're quite bulky, but she likes them. So if the lids rust, I might just get rid of them and keep the jars. These are big glasses that Josh likes to make an iced coffee in. These are plastic cups that we just have a drink of water out of. They're good when we have kids visiting, because we often babysit for friends. We got these free with our Flybuys points. Actually, there's 4 of them. We just have 4 bowls. And then this stack of plates, oh, I did that well. It's actually been driving me mad. We got 4 of the plates too free with our Flybuys points, and that was the intention, was to just have these. But I have ended up with some extras. This one I bought, I reckon, to bake something for a friend for a present. And I ended up doing something different. And it somehow has stuck its way in there. These are fun. I think there's one more of these ones somewhere. They were collectibles when I was a kid. You used to send off the lids of the Vegemite jars and you got a plate. And I have 3 of them. I love Vegemite. I would eat Vegemite on anything. This was for a health challenge that I did. It shows you how much of each thing you should eat, which is really handy. But they just don't stack properly. They slide all around the place and they drive me mad. I have a stack of plates up here that are like for parties. We use them for Josh's birthday party that we had just recently. And I think I might add these to them. It seems silly to have so many that don't get used very often, but I think the declutter of this drawer, I think I prefer that than having some spare plates. And you never know, one day I might get rid of them, but they remind me of my childhood. I probably could get rid of that one, but maybe we'll use it as a party plate. So reusable coffee cups. This drink bottle, I didn't like the lid drink mechanism of it. I did find it leaked every now and then, and I'm pretty certain I can buy a different type of lid for this drink bottle, but I actually ended up just buying another one to replace it that's actually bigger because I'm really trying to drink more water. So I think that one might get passed on. It's been sitting in that drawer since I bought my new one. I only need 1 drink bottle. I wash it every day when I get home from work and refill it. So I don't really need more than 1. So I think I will pass that one on. They will go into party stuff. These reusable coffee cup. I use this one for soup for work because it keeps stuff hot for ages. And that... See, it probably still looks chaotic because everything's so different. We don't we go with what works and what we like, and not necessarily everything that matches. yeah, we also like to save money. So we got stuff free with our Flybuys points because we were setting up the two of us when we moved in together. And we don't need anything flash. The only problem with these is you can't put them in the microwave, which is not a massive issue. If we want to put something in the microwave, we just put it in a microwave container. And you can either put it on the plate or just eat it straight out of the microwave container. They're good for toast when I'm serving up dinner. Josh has cereal every day. So that is all of that. Awesome. So a few things down. This is probably the most awkward drawer we have. And I would love a way to maybe organize it better. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. These are these silicone baking sheets that I use. And they work really well. Josh was worried that things wouldn't crisp up on them. Unfortunately, they do get a bit marked. That's stuff that won't come off. It's obviously something that I cooked a bit too long. But they are clean and I can just flip them over. So I have 2 of them. That's enough. We have 1 tray. We cook a bit, but we're not like super cooks. We don't cook for lots of people. We mostly just cook for the 2 of us. And when my stepdaughter's here, so we don't need a great deal of cooking stuff. We got this free with our Flybuys points. It's like a cast iron pot. I cook in this nearly every day. I love it. A Pyrex dish. It's good for if I'm doing quiche or, doing a roast or anything like that. We have 3 saucepans, like 1 big pot and then 2 saucepan styles, which were my grandma's. Mum gave them to me. I think she said she'd probably had them, like my nana had them for 30 years, and then I've had them. They're really good quality. I can't remember. Oh, they're Bessemerware, which was like kind of like Tupperware back in the day. I think they used to you'd be a rep and you'd sell it. And I think that's what my nana did. I remember her cooking me things in these when I was a little kid. So mum got them when she passed away, but then decided they were sort of surplus to her needs. So gave them to me. I use them all the time. I love them. They're orange, which is my favorite color. And it just makes me think of my nana cooking when I cook in them. So that's what I've chosen to keep rather than buying anything new. This is a stone frying pan. We got it in a set for Christmas from Josh's sister, but we haven't needed the extra stuff yet. So this has been in the kitchen. I think I'm going to put it in the shed because probably one day these will fall apart. And I will have to get rid of them. And then we can use this set. I don't love holding on to things for just in case or one day, but they're a really good set and they were a present. We just don't need them quite yet. So I've kept them in the box. I can put them in the shed. They'll stay nice. And then when we need to replace these ones, we can replace them with ones we already have. So that's kind of it. That's, I don't have multiples of things. Even if I'm cooking muffins and things like that and I'm making a few, I put them in the little patty pans on here, and then I chuck them in here. You just need something to keep them all together. I don't necessarily need more in these trays. And anytime that we did cook, I think Josh cooked something for a Christmas dinner we were going to, and we borrowed trays from somebody. So because he wanted to cook a few things and we needed more, and then we gave them back. And that worked really well for us because, we don't need them all the time. So this straw drives me mad because it's difficult to stack. I've tried lots of ways of making stuff stack in here, but this is kind of as good as it gets. Maybe one day you can get those slotted things that might work. I'm not sure, but that's what goes in this straw. Yeah, it works as good as it's going to, I think. All right, one more down. This is our plastic straw, I suppose you could say. These are reusable paper towels. I have them in here because I don't like having them out on the bench, and it's kind of the only place to put them. I would love to have them somewhere else, but they fit in this space. These are 2 big serving plates, which we use if we're doing like dip and biscuits and cheese and things like that. I also got them from my grandmother. They're Bessemerware as well. I love them. They're so cool. They're very 70s. So I do use them a lot. We'll keep them. This is like one of those Tupperware mincer chopper things. I use this all the time. It's really helpful when you're cutting onions and things like that. You can quickly cut them into quarters and then you throw them in here, much less likely to get cryy eyes. So definitely going to keep that. It comes with a lid, so you can just put whatever you've put in it straight in the fridge, but I don't do that. This lid has never been used. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Like, it's not going to fit anything else. Like, it probably wouldn't even make sense to op shop it, because would it fit anything else? But if I do anything in that, I always put it in a different container and then I wash that. So I don't really need the lid. I think I'm going to get rid of the lid. Oh, these are 2 little sauce containers. I put dressing in them if I take salad to work. There was 3. I got rid of 1 because 2 was enough. We had this ice tray when our ice maker stopped working, because Josh likes ice in every drink that he has. But now the ice maker's fixed, I don't see any reason why we would need to use this. I might ask him about this one, if he can just get rid of it. It was probably like $1 from Kmart, so I can pass it on to the op shop, and if our ice maker happened to stop working again, I'd be really annoyed because we've only just fixed it. And yeah, we could just buy another one, so I might put that on the pile. This is a good serving bowl as well. These were Michelle Bridges portion containers. I used to keep spices in them, but I came up with a different idea. I use the Tupperware ones now, which are a bit smaller and fit better. And I was going to get rid of them, but then they were sitting on the bench for me to get rid of. And then I found that I used them for something else. So I've held on to them. I think I'm going to hold on to them because I have started using them for other things. I probably have way more than I need. I think I'll keep them for now. These are the only plastic containers that we use because we wanted stuff that all stacked inside each other. So we got these ones. However, this company slightly changed the shape of this container, and also the clips used to be on the side of the container and not on the lid. And so there is one, I reckon it's in the sink, that is the old style that won't stack inside the other, and there's the one lid that won't fit the rest of the containers. So I'm going to get rid of that one. And then, yeah, these all stack really nicely inside each other. So we have this size and we have the bigger size if I make muffins or something, and again they all stack in really well together. So they're the only types of containers that we have. We really wanted to make it as simple as possible and have everything stack properly. Now this basket is full of reusable Ziploc bags because I don't like buying the single-use ones. So there's a few different kinds. I reckon there's probably a heap in the freezer and in the sink. I thought there was some I thought that were a bit awkward to use or haven't stayed really easy to close, but I can't remember which type. None of these are jumping out at me as, oh, that one was difficult to use. So I think I'll just keep all of them in there. I keep them in a container to keep them under control. All right, so Tupperware cutter is going back. I wonder if I can just put that there. That might work better. Yeah. This bowl is really awkward. I just end up normally throwing little things in it, but there's not much else to do. It doesn't fit in these top cupboards. It's too wide, which drives me mad because I would like to put it up there, but it can stay there. So I think I'll downsize some of these containers eventually. I am using them for some seeds from my veggie garden at the moment. I've got some on the windowsill, but I probably won't collect that many seeds. So once I finish collecting seeds from my veggie garden, I might ditch half of them, I think, because I probably don't need all of them. All right. Whew. This really wears you out. Like, I don't know why. It feels silly that you should feel so tired from this, but oh well. All right. One more big drawer to go. Sorry, I did forget to put this one back. That's the colander. That goes in there. These must have been on the sink. And one little baking tray. I lied. I do have two. That's more for cake. All right. But they all fit in there nicely. This drawer is kind of our one pantry drawer. Because everything else fits in the other drawers, I was able to save one for a bit of a pantry of things that don't sort of fit into these containers. This is all snacky stuff for when my stepdaughter's here. This is, you know, stuff for toast. The rest is a bit of a shambles, and I would love a better way to do this. I think I'm going to maybe buy some more baskets and do this a bit better, because it's a bit of a mess. There's some spare snack bars in here that I would probably like to put up here. A bag of popcorn, some marshmallows because we had a party, some bread mix and cake mix. We do kind of keep them because they are things that, well, like I always kind of have a stack of them because they are things that we do make fairly frequently. Popcorn, because Josh and I like to, if we have a date night and watch a movie, like a home date night, which is often what we do because we don't always like going out. There's not much I can do with this drawer now. I will ponder this one and maybe do something with it another day. But for now, it's not too overcrowded. Sometimes you have to dig through to find things, and I kind of don't want to do that. This big basket might seem like it takes up a lot of space, but it's kind of like the fun snacky stuff for when my stepdaughter's here. And again, I like her to kind of feel like she has her things here. So these are her little special treats in our pantry drawer. You know, if we go out and we buy stuff, she can put it in there. That's her space. And yeah, she feels like she has her own space in her house, even though she's only here on the weekends and during school holidays. So this drawer I might redo at a later stage, I think. I'm at a bit of a standstill with that. I need to buy some more containers. Okay, I'm now in the cupboards up the top. So this is what I was talking about, our party plates. It's a few sets of the besamaware that belonged to my grandma, and it might seem silly to keep so many, but we had like a pizza party for Josh's birthday and we used a heap of them. So I'm gonna put these up here. Please fit. Oh yay, they fit. Oh, I was dubious about that. And they can stay there, and next time I declutter, if I haven't used them, because I use these all the time for when we have people over. They're kind of the splash ones. So I'll keep them. Now up here, I haven't used this in such a long time. I'm not a gym person. Oh, these is a set of teacups. I use them if I'm using my teapot. Now, oh, I have to get down off my chair. Yeah, this must drive people mad. Everything is in a mess. But I know where everything is, I promise. Alright. Teapot things. Up there. Teapot. So these, we have two of these. These are bowls we put popcorn and we put salad in them. We have our blender, mixer thing, sandwich toaster. That's kind of it for up here. It's pretty organized. All right, that was easy. This one. Oh, oh, this one has barely anything in it. Now, we don't keep our toaster on the bench. It takes up a lot of space, and we don't eat toast every day, so it goes there. And this is like a pressure cooker that I use from Tupperware. I really like it. I don't use it much in the summer, but being that it's winter now, I'll probably start making things like risottos and things in it. So, oh, crumbs in there. I'll have to clean that out later. Oh, and that's it for that one. Nothing I can do. Perfect. These two up here are pretty similar. Oh, look, empty. But there's party stuff here. So I went to Kmart and bought one of these lovely plastic tubs to go in here. And I think it's just going to help. Like, we don't have that much party stuff. Because we generally don't use it. Ooh, is that going to fit in there? Aha. Oh, I feel like a genius. Because I did the thing that you should not do and go and buy a container without actually measuring. And I think I'm going to get super lucky. And everything is going to fit in here perfectly. Woohoo! We don't have anything else up for here. Let's just see it. Now, up the top, we've got spare filters for the fridge. I will leave them inside because they get changed every few months. COVID tests, of course. Natural remedies. So natural things that we use for medicines. And then medications. So more like pharmacy bought ones. I decluttered them a while ago. They might need a bit of a go through. Not today. I might do them as a separate. All right. Easy. Oh, I did the hard ones first. That was probably a good thing. So here we have one pot holder that my stepdaughter bought in Tasmania. I have a little apron, and it might seem silly, but I actually do wear them. When I cook, I make a giant mess. This was a birthday present to Josh from a friend of ours. So even if he never uses it, we're keeping it because it is hilarious. So that's that apron. I got that from an op shop. And then this one I made. I mostly use it as a pot holder because it is a bit small. It's got little pockets on it. It was a good little test run to see if I could make one, but it's nice and thick. I put a towel in the middle of it so it would be absorbent, and I actually use it mostly like a pot holder. So I don't really think I can get rid of anything off that. I use all of those. My plant in the corner. It's doing really well. Now up here, what have we got? So I think all of this, so this is supplements, but this is a vitamin C supplement that I need to actually take, and I keep forgetting. Red wine vinegar, blah, blah, blah. Now, I use all of these, so I know there's nothing up there that's lingering, so that's easy. This is my spice rack, and I love it very much. Oh, good if we put something away, though. So these are all Tupperware. I have 3 more coming in the post to go there. I have a big herb garden, and I love cooking. These ones are ones that probably my stepdaughter uses these ones. We prefer this one. It's easier in the shaker, so I leave it like that. This is one that's probably going to go in one of these. And then I have a couple of empty ones that are going to be used for stuff that's in my garden. Mortar and pestle, I use them when I dry my herbs. I love this. I decided to put these little shelves in here when we did the kitchen, and it's the best thing ever because everything is right next to the stove when you want to add it in, and it's one of my favorite things in the kitchen. This is a cute little thing that I made. This was a present for Josh from my stepdaughter. It's just decorative. It doesn't do anything, but I made it a few years ago and I like it, so it can stay there. So this is what I mean by how I've been using these containers. I've been keeping seeds from things. So I've got a few more in my garden that I want to take the seeds of. So I'll keep a little stash. I think I might keep them in the shed. I think they don't really need to be inside. Eggshells are good for gardens, so I've been keeping them. So we'll see. If I have a few of my seeds done, I'll get rid of the rest of these containers. And then I think I'll store them out in the shed with my gardening stuff. Here is this other plate. It was staring me in the face the whole time. This is just some sage that I cut out of my garden, and I'm seeing if it will just dry nicely there on its own. This is where we store our chopping boards next to our microwave. Our kettle is on top, and then this is our bench. We generally try and keep it clear, but this is a bit of a to-do pile for Josh, so he likes to leave them there in front of him to remind him to do things. Our knife rack. Now this, I don't know that there's much I can do up here. This is pretty organized. I might put those in there. They're our coffee sachets. Otherwise, everything is lovely labeled. These labels are just from Kmart. And I try to keep just the things I use. And that's it. So there's apparently, like, I keep my tuna tins. They stack really nicely in this container. But there is no label in this set, obviously, for tuna, because I think most people keep it in the container. And then we just put fruit in here. And it's little. People might think that's too small, but if we buy too much fruit, it goes off and we don't end up eating it. So this shelf I'm pretty content with. It's pretty tidy. The Weet-Bix box probably is the most untidy part about it, but it's handy, so that's where that goes. Yeah, I like this open pantry. It lets me know if there's things I need, like these types of noodles. I'm actually having some of them for lunch, so I know that I need to buy them. So I can pretty much like sit at the dining table and do my shopping list and look up there, and I can see at a glance what we are running out of. And I love that. It's no overbuying. Do the fridge. Let's do the fridge. I don't know. We went on holidays recently, which I keep talking about, and I did a pretty big clean out of it then. That's gravy, which I put in the fridge still warm, so I left the lid off. So let's put that back in there. No, I really think the fridge is probably really good because I did a massive clean out before we went away, and we've only been home a couple of weeks, and we haven't really had time to mess everything up yet. Very boring. As you can see, I like to label everything. Booze. And so some things might need to get put away, though we are going camping. So I think Josh has got that for going camping. And this one, Josh keeps telling me is a lie because it's where we put all the chocolate because it all fits. We are getting through it. See, we still have stuff left over from Easter. We're not massive chocolate fiends. And then stuff, like I'm happy. I don't really think this is overrun. Like that caramel sauce I think I'm going to put in some muffins. And everything else is pretty much, this might sound silly, but I use pretty much all these sauces, every few days. So I'm not ashamed of my amount of condiments. This is really exciting. These are all out of my garden. So I've got some radishes, some spinach, and then my herbs. It's my first year being able to harvest things. Oh, these are from my mother-in-law's garden too. So that's super exciting. All right. Not much I can do in there. I'm really happy with that. We did it just before we went away to Thailand. So what I do have is I put this in here. So it's things that need to get used that have a short shelf life. So they're things that need to get used up. I put this here because we've had it for a while and we need to actively finish it up. I think it was hiding behind a few things and we forgot it was there. Otherwise, pretty good. Cool. The freezer, I know, is a different story. So I've realized there's not much I can do with this because I want to do a bit of a reorganize and maybe pull some stuff out to use. But Josh is using our ice maker to collect ice to go camping rather than buying it, which seems like a lot of effort, but it's not. The ice maker fills up pretty much every day, and he's just storing bags in here, and we'll have plenty that'll fit in here. But I don't want to mess up his system because I don't want to make a mess with all the ice. So I think I might leave this one for now and I'll reorganize. I've got lots of frozen meals, but I like to stack them a bit better. When we went away, I chopped up a heap of stuff and cooked a heap of meals and froze them so we could go away on holiday and anything that was in our freezer wouldn't be wasted. We could use it when we got back. But I reckon I just chucked it all in there, and then Josh has put the ice in on top. So I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to do that now. That is a big project in itself. So freezer for another day. All right. Cool. Well, that'll do for now. I am not sure how I'm going to do those yet, so I'm going to work on that one. These are going to go to the shed. That's going to go to the shed. This is another bowl that needs to go away because it was clean. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to pass that one to my mom. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to ask Josh if we need the advertising one because I think they just came free. Freezer bags and oven bags I'm going to give my mom. Oh, these are going to go... Oh yeah, that was one more of those. These are going to go, check on the modem, in the party bag. I'm going to pass these ones on. I'll op shop this one. I'll chuck that one. Op shop. Chuck that one. Op shop. Throw that one. I think I'll just throw that out and op shop those ones. So that is my little kitchen declutter pile. I had a quick scan of what is here in, oh gross, sorry. But we're real. I'm not doing a tidy up before I do this, so you can see it's all real. So this is all stuff we use. That's the other one to the set. These are the containers. I really feel like maybe I've already gotten rid of them. I feel like the ones that didn't seal properly were going to stand out to me when I looked in the drawer. So maybe I've already gotten rid of them, or maybe I'm just not remembering. So when I use them next, I might, if they don't seal properly, I'll get rid of a few of them. I do have a heap. There's also a heap in the freezer that have bits of quiche in them, I'm pretty certain. This is out onto our rainy backyard. See, perfect day to do this because it's rainy and cold. All right. So I'm really happy with the progress of that. Nice little pile to get rid of. Everything else fits really easy. And as you saw, there was a few spaces, and over here behind me, they were actually empty and nothing was too cluttered. I am going to sort that. Maybe I'll do the freezer in that one together, do food storage after I buy some containers and things to corral everything. Yeah, so that's my little kitchen declutter.